Let's get one thing out of the way before we deep dive into this lens. This is the most perfect lens for every APS-C Sony shooter out there that wants to upgrade from the kit lens. And the why is actually an even simpler answer that I'm going to stretch out into an 8-minute video to get the juicy advertising money that I'm so desperately craving. As always, I divided all the features into different steps to give you a much easier overview of the good and the bad points, and as always, this is solely my opinion. I bought this lens for my own money, I haven't gotten any review unit, nor have I ever spoken to anyone from Sigma, even though I am actually owning 3 Sigma lenses. At least this shows that they build great quality lenses and I don't have to actually use their customer service. Step 1. Size and weight. It's tiny and lightweight and really tiny. This is a zoom lens that is smaller than most of Sigma's prime lenses. It is only 62mm in diameter, 76.5mm in length and weighs only 290 grams. It is so compact that I would take it anywhere I travel to from now on as my primary lens, since this covers 2/3 of the focal ranges that I mostly use. What I'm trying to say with all those numbers is the following. You won't get a better, more compact, built for travel lens for your APS-C camera that covers it all. Step 2. Weather sealing and build quality. Wait a second. You're telling me they made this lens weather sealed even though this is not an art series lens? Heck yeah! Even though it is only sealed at the lens mount with a weather sealing gasket and there's no internal sealing point, this is much better than I expected it to be. The lens itself is a mixture of 2 different composites, meaning thermal composites, aka plastic, and metal, and feels as high quality as all the other Sigma lenses that I own. Everything is engineered precisely. While using it, I could not feel any kind of wobble in the extension barrel of the lens. There are 2 focus rings on this lens, and compared to my Sigma 18-35mm, the zoom ring is in the front and the focus ring is in the back. The zoom ring is very smooth and feels great without any resistance. The focus ring, on the other hand, is almost, well, let's say perfection when it comes to shooting movies manual with it. Why? Well, easy to explain. It has a very wide focus throw, making this perfect for creating those sweeping focus shifts. There's almost no visible focus breathing while actually doing that. Step 3. Focus distance. Speaking of focus, this lens is actually not only an 18-50mm zoom lens, but also has some quite interesting macro abilities in the 1-28 magnification range. This means at 18mm you can get very close to objects, almost macro size, and they are still in focus. You might even get too close and therefore put your own shadow over the object. You should actually watch out for bumping your glass into it as well. Step 4. Focus range. Focus, something lens focus range. It's impressive. Packing the focal range of 18mm that is still great for vlogging, as well as the standard 24mm YouTuber's most beloved range. 28mm most people's range. I use it because it's there. 35mm, which is the de facto standard everything looks awesome range, and the human portrait range of 50mm in such a tiny package with an aperture of f2.8 constant is an achievement that actually needs to be held very high. But the single most distinguishing factor actually is the compact size, which sets this lens apart from all of its competitors, not through sheer innovation, but more like a reiteration. Sometimes it feels like Sigma knows exactly what people actually want for their cameras. Step 5. Sharpness. The sharpness is great even at f2.8, and I'm speaking for videographers here. As always, I'm not really into photos, but as a video lens I always try to get a slightly softer, not so technical look for my images, and this lens is perfect for that even at f2.8. What I mean by that is, it's plenty of sharp enough, but it's not as clinical looking as the Sigma 16mm f1.4 for example. Here is an example of the sharpness of both Sigma lenses in comparison. Step 6. Autofocus. As always, and I didn't expect anything else from Sigma, the autofocus on this lens is as fast and reliable as most native lenses coming directly from Sigma. It is very much usable in both photography as well as video. It's virtually silent, and a ZV-10's eye autofocus in video works flawlessly with this lens. The automated focus pull from one object to the next worked without any issues, and as soon as the camera got my eyes, the lens performed flawlessly. I'm shooting all the talking head sections of this video in autofocus mode with 24mm as my focal length and f2.8 as the aperture. I'm actually switching my talking head setup from the Sigma 16mm f1.4 to this 18-50mm f2.8 from now on. Step 7. Real world usage. Now let's get out into the real world and shoot some more sequences both at day and in low light, and let's shoot some images as well for the sake of it. And after that we'll come back for my final conclusion on Sigma's new lens. The Sigma 18-50mm f2.8 lens is a small and lightweight powerhouse that shines in many different categories and use cases. It is sharp, has very good autofocus capabilities when paired with a good camera, can be used in many different situations ranging from vlogging to interviews. It is very usable in low light situations and comes with an almost macro capability due to its focus distance when at its widest focal range of just 18mm. And now to the best thing that I haven't mentioned yet. It only costs 499 euros. Compare this with competitors such as the kit lens from Sony, which underperforms on almost everything, well, except the price. The Sony 16-55 f2.8G lens for 1300 euros, which delivers great performance, but it's way too expensive. Or the Tamron 17-70mm f2.8, which is much bigger and heavier and comes in at roughly 300 euros more. Then you might actually see why Sigma has produced the most important lens for APS-C shooters to date. Oh, and by the way, even though this has been released like a month ago, you can already get it at a discount due to Black Friday. Well, I only paid 415 euros. So, thank you very much for watching. My name is Leech and I'm off writing the next scripts. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. There are plenty more of this type of content and many other things available for you to watch. Have a great day, see you around, and goodbye.